Hello again, Revit users and ambitious engineers or architects. Today we are going to talk about creating and editing floors in Revit. To begin, while you are in the plan view, navigate to the Structure tab and select the Floor tool. Under the drop-down arrow, you will see the additional options to create either a structural or architectural floor, as well as to create a slab edge on the floor. From there, you can select different ways how to draw the boundaries of the floor. Let's try choosing a rectangle shape. The purple line indicates the boundary is drawn, and the two additional lines in the middle of the boundary line indicates the span direction. You can change the span direction to your needs using the span direction tool. Just simply select the line and use the tool to change the direction. Next, let's take a look at the slope arrow tool. Select it and draw a line in the direction you want to add a slope to the floor. Note that you don't have to draw it within the boundaries of the floor, as Revit will understand the direction of the arrow no matter where it's drawn. Once you create the slope arrow, you can change additional parameters that comes along with it. Select the arrow and hover over the Properties panel. Here, you can specify how you want to create the slope, either by height, a tail, or slope. If you select slope, you can type in a desired slope under the dimension group. You can also select the level at the tail, which indicates where the tail is based on, and even add an offset. When you're finished, press the Finish button. Keep in mind that you can always change these parameters. If you select the floor in the Properties panel, you can change the slope easily. Floors, walls, and roofs can have different layers created within them. To add layers to your floor, select the floor and edit its type. Let's create some additional layers by adding a sheeting layer on the exterior side and a structural deck on the interior side. This will create a different shape for the floor. You can create your own deck profile, which I will cover in future videos. For now, let's select one of the existing ones and add a material to it, such as concrete. For structure, we want to have concrete as well, and for sheeting, you can create plywood. Once you press OK, you will see how it looks like in a 3D view. However, you may notice that the structural deck that we inserted is not visible. That's because it is created as a 2D representation of the section of the floor. It will only be visible in sections, detail views, and elevations. To see it, let's create a section view and select the section crop view boundary. You can then expand it a bit by dragging it. Scroll through different detail levels and you will notice that all those layers and structural deck are visible only if Fine is selected. To create an opening in the floor, navigate to the Structure tab and from the Opening section, select Vertical to create an opening only for this floor. Revit will ask you to select the floor on which you want to create an opening and then to draw its shape. If you have multiple floors, you can add an opening that goes through all of them. It is called shaft. This is perfect for modeling a staircase in a multi-story building. So let's go to the elevation view. Let's create or copy existing level. And then we want to copy our floor to clipboard. And then let's paste it to align selected levels. Let's select the level we want, and now we have floors copied. Let's create a shaft for them. Navigate to the Structure tab again, select Shaft from Opening section, and in the Plan view, draw its boundary. You can always change it as well as the base and top constraints of it. There are other ways how to modify your floor. Let's select one of the floors we have, and in the Shape Editing panel, let's select Add Point. This point will let us to modify the shape of the floor. Let's place it somewhere in the middle. And now, when we press Modify Sub-Elements, it will allow us to move the handles that comes with that point created. Or even, we can type in the elevation manually. You can create split line as well. Select one point and draw a line from it. And now, let's modify the floor with this line. You can always reset the shape of the wall. And that's it for today. We ran through the basics of creating and editing the floors. See you in the future videos.